State colors.
And we're live. Go. Oh yeah, I didn't even know this.
Yeah, yellow and blue. I'm a big Golden State fan. I recognize that. I was watching the
Yeah,
game yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, I was watching the game yesterday with Tyler. We were down at this Mexican bar down the street.
there you go, folks.
Right?
Yeah,
Warriors.
that's right, bitch.
So today we're talking about I don't know, bad news. Shitty news. Uh I'll go on to these news websites, or I'll go on to like Google or Yahoo or AOL, looking to figure out what's going on in today's news. And I got to sift through a bunch of shit to find stuff that I actually want to read about. So
Word.
I'm here to talk about that today. Um, all right. So we'll start off. Keep it easy. Sorry, I got notes right here. Don't mind me. How about here's a funny one. Dancing FBI agent accidentally shoots bar patron in Denver.
Oh man, how did they know he was in the FBI?
I don't know. They blew his cover.
That's yeah. They ran it on themselves right there.
Or he blew his own cover. But
Literally.
yeah, so why is this news? I mean, obviously it's funny, but is it really that an FBI agent fucked up somewhere? Like shit happens, right? Is that real news?
I mean, what did it cause?
Uh you know what? These are all based on titles, man. Just the titles of the articles. I didn't read any of them.
Probably for the best, honestly, nowadays.
Yeah, well, like I'll go and read something like that, and it'll turn out to be not worth reading. So, not only that, but have you read news online lately? A lot of it's full of typos and spelling errors.
Yeah, they don't even bother anymore. I think they just
I'm like, who's editing this shit?
I was gonna say, I think they fired all the editors. Like,
Cut out the middleman.
like, like editor is just it's just a title now for news publishers.
I really feel like when I go through all these news articles, I feel like people like they have these amateur news like writers. They just have them send in as much shit as possible, and they just post what they think is worth posting. And I don't think it really gets edited.
Well, it doesn't. Like they're their own editors, and like my another one of my concerns is, why the heck is op-ed usually the thing that's most talked about? Shouldn't before that was always the like whatever, some crazy person talking about nothing, but now news sites report like on op-ed like that was the news. Like,
Right.
ooh, op-ed article said this like controversial statement. It's like op-ed. It's just like some Joe Schmo talking, blowing smoke up his ass,
Right.
right? Like I don't get why the op-ed is like a newsworthy thing now, and where other news publishers publish on what the op-ed said. That makes no sense to me.
And I mean, okay, in defense of the news, these news companies, or whoever's fucking writing this shit, in their defense, where'd you go? Ah, there you are. I lost you for a second. Sorry. In their defense, I mean, we're getting information nonstop, 24/7. Like, there's always new shit popping up, and they got to sift through all this to try to create the news. And so I mean, it's difficult. I'm sure, and it's probably chaos over at all these places that run the news.
Well,
You know
that's
what I mean?
because of the stuff that they try to make news. They have
Well, that's
they,
my problem. That's where my issue is like, why do you think that this is important?
well, it's 'cause it's the image that they built news into. You know, it's this narrative that they've kind of like formulated for themselves to now
Right.
where everything has to be sensational. It can't
Mhm.
be like little Jimmy won the second grade spelling bee. But
Now
well,
they
why not? Like you know what I mean? If they're gonna
and
report,
I just read that was it Texas handled the spelling bee this year. Like Texas students were just fucking killed it this year. The spelling bee, spelling
that's
bees.
that's dope. I think that like that's some positive shit that could be. I mean, if you know, rather than someone fucking up, like everyone's always fucking up.
Right.
Like
Yeah. I
like
want to
why
hear
not?
good stuff.
Yeah,
And we
why
should
not
be pushing everybody to try to win the spelling bee.
read a
Represent your
spelling bee? Sure, it's completely superfluous and like unnecessary, but
right. Yeah, I want to see like another
at
Asian won
least
the spelling bee this year.
yeah, at least it's promoting something good, you know.
Yeah, go Texas. Um,
Yeehaw teha.
right. Speaking of bad news, this is terrible news for somebody. 16-year-old murdered by her two best friends.
Damn.
Yeah.
Obviously not that best of friends.
Yeah, they're not very good friends if they if they murder.
If those are your best, if your best friends are murdering you,
Or yeah, if your best friend's murdering you, maybe you fucked up somehow.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to whoever that was. I apologize. That's bad.
Hey,
Either
well, you
bad
didn't say
friends
the
or
name.
you
You
were
didn't say
bad
the
friends.
name, so like
Something went
we're
way
just
wrong.
cracking jokes.
Yeah, something went really bad there. Either you bad friends or you were the bad friend, but something. Either way, that's like a whole like I mean something like that happening. That's pretty rare. Obviously, I get why that's in the news, but do we really need to read about that? Do I need
Steve,
to know about how a 16-year-old got murdered by her teenage friends?
well, would you kill me if I deserved it? Do you believe in the death penalty?
Kinda.
Kinda. You kind of believe in the death penalty? What are you gonna? You
Okay.
gonna like kind of kill someone?
Well, no. This is. There's only one reason I would feel justified in killing somebody, and that's if they're threatening my life. If I feel like I might die if I don't kill this person, then I'll try to kill them. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
Other
that's
than
self
that,
defense. You should. I mean, maybe you don't have to necessarily kill them, but like you know, if you try to aim for their leg and you hit their heart, well, shit, they shouldn't have been trying to kill you.
true. And maybe I should be better at aiming. I don't know.
No, I just said, whoops! I thought I was going for the leg.
I need to go to the shooting range
I
somewhere, I
was just,
guess.
I was just trying to maim them in self-defense. I don't know how they died.
But yeah, I don't know. But my problem with that is, I mean, clearly there's the whole being murdered by her two best friends. Obviously, she wasn't. Or they weren't as close as they say they are on paper. But because you don't kill your best friend, right?
Well, it depends what their last Instagram post was.
Once again, I didn't read the article. I don't know what happened to cause this, but that's what the article title is. These are all just the titles to the articles. I didn't read them. But this is just the shit that I have to sift through before I get to an article that's actually worth my time. All right. How about real reason you see so many Chick-fil-A restaurants?
Oh God!
Now, do you see a lot of Chick-fil-A restaurants? Because I don't.
I never see Chick-fil-A restaurants, honestly.
So
I
I don't even know what this article is talking
I
about.
very rarely run into a Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A to me is like it's like Dairy Queen. I see
I
the commercials, but I never find the actual place. You know what I mean? I
Yo,
don't
Dairy Queen's
experience
bomb too.
Chick-fil-A. I enjoy Chick-fil-A, I do, but I
I
don't
can
know
go,
where the nearest Chick-fil-A is from here.
I can
You
go
know?
for some Dairy Queen, man.
And I've never actually ate at Dairy Queen. I see the commercials there too, and I'm like, damn, it looks good.
Oh
Then I'm
no,
like,
it
look,
is.
Dairy
It
Queen.
is. I thought, but the reason I probably fox with Dairy Queen is probably because I never have it. Like I don't remember the last time I've been to a Dairy Queen. It's been many, many years. You know, so.
That's funny. But
Oh, by the way, shout out!
that's
Shout out
kind of that's like that right there is like clickbait though, because then you're like, wait a second, why do I see so many Chick-fil-A's, or why don't I see so many Chick-fil-A's? And I'm like, what are they talking about? What is this conspiracy? Because that's what it sounds like to me. Is there's like some sort of Chick-fil-A conspiracy going on?
Well, everyone knows that George Soros funds all the Chick-fil-A's
I didn't know that.
because apparently George Soros funds the entire world now. No, I'm
Well,
just making.
I've heard nothing bad about Chick-fil-A. They're the owners are very religious, if I'm not mistaken. They're Christian or Catholic. They are
Yeah.
not open on Sundays. They pay their employees above minimum wage starting, kind of like In and Out, but not quite as good from what I hear. But
In and Out's a Christian organization as well.
yeah, but they take care of their employees.
Yeah.
Like I worked at McDonald's. Please don't sue me, McDonald's, when I call you out right now. Worked at a franchise, so I blame the owner franchise.
They do not take care of their employees.
I started off at $8 an hour. Minimum wage was $8 an hour. When I left 2.5 years later, I was making $8.20 an hour. So I got two 10-cent raises in the 2.5 years that I was working at McDonald's.
Which just goes to show, Stephen, that hard work in our system goes a long way. That's what gets you ahead in life.
Hard work pays off. You get what you put in.
You just gotta raise yourself up by your bootstraps.
So why stop now? Got to keep pushing.
That shows you if you work hard after 2.5 years, like you can make enough to feed your whole family.
I could barely pay my rent while I was there. I was making more money on online poker than I was at McDonald's.
Oh man, fuck them.
Yep. All right, so let's see. Oh, here's a funny one. Georgia police officer fired after fleeing hit and run after he ran over a person. Or it says Georgia police officer fired after fleeing suspect hit by a patrol car. He was on patrol. He ran somebody over. They got it on the dash cam and everything, and he fled the scene.
Oh my god!
And then he got fired. Then they fired him.
Yeah,
I'm happy that they fired him. Now here's my problem.
Because a police officer should be fucking accountable. Like what the hell?
He should also be in jail. That's
yeah. Anyone else would be going to jail for a long time for a hit and run. What
my friend's probation just finished after he got done with the hit and run charge. So like we're a clean house again. You know what I mean? But yeah, this guy just got fired. Like I hope that's what happens if I ever get in a hit and run. I just lose my job. You know what I mean? I can find another job, but I can't get out of prison.
So crazy. See, the reason why people get so outraged by the police, like they don't think that like all police officers are bad or that this is happening like a large amount of time. It's that when injustices do happen, is like they get a slap on the wrist.
Well, that too. Yeah, that's part of my issue with this story is, yeah, he just gets a slap on the wrist. He should be, tried just like anybody else would in the same situation. But
Exactly.
not just that, but, like the whole story is basically told in the article title. Like I don't need to go and read it now because I already know what happened. You know what I mean? I could tell just from those 10 words how the story's going to go. I don't need to go and read it.
I'd probably read that one though. I'll give you right. That's not a good title as far as like for making a hook for people.
Yeah, they didn't set them up. But then there's these articles where they build it up to something big when really it's nothing. It's like this sounds crazy, and then you go and read the article, and you're like, well, that sounds nothing like what the title made it sound like.
Oh yeah, that's the worst.
That's frustrating too. But yeah, I don't know. The whole thing's kind of frustrating, but people do dumb shit every day. We don't need to be calling the police out every time some mistake like that happens. They fired the guy. Obviously, he should be prosecuted, but I don't know how that's going down. But the fact that that's what's in the news is how police are fucking up instead of talking about how police are doing good, that kind of bugs me. Because there's plenty more stories of police doing good than police doing bad.
Yeah,
we just don't.
Like I said, the media loves to focus on the negative.
Negative makes better news than positive, I suppose. Because I remember growing up before we got all our news from the internet. We were watching news on TV when I was a kid. Like it was always about who got murdered today. Who died.
Right? No, that's for
based on negative shit.
It's funny, actually. That's why I actually stopped watching the news. Because when I was in primary school, I was it's funny. They always make fun of kids oh well you guys just don't care and I never got that why my teachers would say that shit because I care a fucking lot. And, but anyways, that's a fucking another tangent. But anyway, as far as so I would watch the news when I was little, right? And I'd get so worked up because they're always just showing all this negative shit. And almost every day on the news, there'd be the next person who got murdered. You know what I mean?
That's why I decided on this topic for a podcast was when I go and look up the news on my phone now. I always wind up being all worked up afterwards, or I'm upset.
It'd be either
it's causing me to be so upset, and that's why I wrote all these down. There's something wrong with all of these. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I remember it'd be either someone got murdered, there was some racial issue, or they were even then clearly trying to spin things to their narrative.
Yeah. Damn, that sounds familiar, doesn't it? That's the same shit we're dealing with now. You know what I mean?
People act like it's new.
We're still dealing with the same shit. Yeah,
they're doing the same shit. Yeah, no, and they were always doing it to the point where I just got freaking pissed off. I was like, well, fuck this, man. I don't need to see this shit. This is ruining my life. I'm just gonna go be a kid and
I want to be happy. I don't want to be upset. I want to be happy.
And yeah, no. So I had took a break from the news for a while, and then instead of watching the news, I just read more books because I was a big reader as a kid. And
I read a bunch of books, but it's only for AR reading. I was trying to get them points.
Hey, but shit motivated you to read it, right? That shit was dope.
Yeah, I was killing it. I was one of the top people in my school. So.
Oh, I got all the fucking prizes, dude. I was about that shit.
I had my 500-point shirt, my 750-point shirt, my 1,000-point shirt, my 1,500-point shirt.
And at your school, did all your friends read Bowie Dick just because it was a whole bunch of points? Do you remember
I don't
that?
remember. I was reading stuff like Tom Clancy back in like seventh, eighth grade, and I still read Tom Clancy.
That's
That's
so funny.
and those were all like 20-point books right there.
Tom Clancy, Tom Clancy was big. I had a lot of friends reading those.
That's
I
my
was
shit right
I wasn't
there.
too into Tom Clancy. Um,
Yeah, he likes the military. He's got like a boner for the military. But
why don't you join the military then?
what's that?
Why don't you join the military then? We need your help.
I just like reading about it. They don't need me. All right, here's another one. U.S. allies rebuke Trump administration's trade actions at G7 meeting. This is still about Donald Trump trying to charge taxes on steel, export of steel.
We talked about that
He's still trying
before.
to push. Yeah, he's still trying to push that, and like we already agree it's a bad idea, right?
Yeah.
He's still trying to push that, and everybody's getting mad at him. Like all our allies are like, you know what, fuck you. It's like, dude, we don't need to be making more enemies. Keep our friends, but make sure we keep our enemies in check. But no, you're making more enemies by doing this shit. Trying to tax people on steel, on some dumb shit. There's other ways to make money.
Yeah.
Just let it go, man. Let it go. Let the steel tax go.
Yeah, and I mean, there has to be another way to give a stimulus to the steel industry. Like, that's the thing with that tariff idea. Like, that's gonna hurt the steel industry.
Mm-hmm.
Then none of the foreign investors are gonna fucks with us, and no one's gonna buy it because they'll just buy cheaper steel. It's not like we're the only steel producers in the world.
Yeah. Right. There were several articles on the same story, but yeah, it's like I don't need to read that. I I kind of get the point just from the title for one. Two, I don't need to hear more Trump bashing. He's gonna be here for another 3 years. We either deal with it or shut the fuck up.
It's kind of funny though, because at first, like it got really annoying, right? All these people but now it's like almost like these people are like in a hysteria.
Yeah.
It's like is your life just focused on Trump now and like being mad at him?
Well, he's getting away. He's getting away with it. Like they're calling him out, and he's just brushing off like nothing, and it's awesome. But I appreciate that, but they don't, because they were already upset. They're even more upset now because it's just like whatever, fuck it.
Well, we worked
Yeah, you don't like it. That's what I'm doing though. Like he just brushes it off like it's nothing, and that just pisses people off more. But I appreciate a lot of things that he's doing. Stop fucking with the tariffs though. Like just let that be.
Yeah.
You're making the wrong people angry now.
Yeah, and thank God for checks and balances.
Right? Yeah, he does need to get checked sometimes.
Who would have thunk it that those dudes in 1776 knew what the fuck they were talking about?
Like, there's gonna be somebody like Donald Trump someday, and we got to make sure.
Yeah, man.
Get away with too much.
No, because it honestly, that's why it really restored some of my faith in the system. As because I get, I get the frustration of like, hey, this is broken. Let's just burn this shit down.
Mm-hmm.
But when we get someone as terrible as Donald Trump, and then like it still works, it really shows you that, the executive branch isn't this big king that you think it is, and
Right.
our checks and balances actually work.
You still got Congress, still got the House of Representatives, and there's a bunch of people running both. It's not just the president making all the decisions. I think a lot of people forget about that, though.
Yeah, although I do think that I do think the legislative branch needs to be changed up quite a bit. I'm glad that it is keeping him like in check, but like I also think, you know, basically, you know, I just want take more power away from the executive branch, take more power away from the legislative branch, give that to the people.
Yeah, let us vote. We'll vote for everything. We'll vote every month. Who gives a shit? Well, we can all do it from our phones, even. You know, just like this is what I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Keep it simple. Otherwise,
in order to do before you can do that too, you know, you gotta take like you have to like read like whatever like thing about the issue that you're voting on, and then you have to take like a 10-question test just that shows that you actually read that shit and you know what the fuck you're talking about. Like
right.
a 10-question comprehensive. You know what I mean?
You're like, no, yes, no, yes.
Yeah. No, you can't just go no, yes, all willy nilly. like, yeah, end racism. Yeah, women's rights. Like, no, that's not what your vote's doing. So like, stop.
Right.
You need to actually.
Oh, do you remember?
Otherwise,
do you remember back when we were in college? You remember the whole Section 8 or not Section 8? What was it? Not Section 8. It was Section 8 is about housing. What do you call it? About the gay rights or whatever? Like letting gays get married. The first one. Proposition 8? Was it Prop 8?
Yeah, Prop 8.
You remember that? But then they were fighting it by like saying that they're gonna teach children about being gay and bisexual in like 3rd and 4th grade and shit like that with their sexual education and shit. Trying to fight it. Like it was a big deal, but nobody fully understood what they were trying to do. And so it caused a lot of problems.
Wait, that they're gonna teach kids in school
Yeah, about being gay, like being gay is okay, sort of thing, as part of the sex education type thing. Like that was one of the defenses against it, was that they were gonna have that in schools.
Well, I'd rather them.
I mean, it was bullshit. Like that's not exactly what Section or Proposition 8 was proposing.
But
that was the defense against it.
I'd rather them teach them that in school than what they're teaching them now with like
fake history.
But like of like just gender doesn't exist. The kind of shit, you know.
Dude, I have no idea what they're teaching kids in schools nowadays, but I'm sure it's terrifying. I do not want to have a kid.
Yeah, no, it's like
I don't want to try to raise a kid in this society right now.
It's like I saw, because I read, speaking of bad articles, I read this thing where they're saying like they don't want the teachers saying boys and girls because that's assuming their genders.
Oh my god. I'm a boy. If I choose not to be a boy at some point, then I will ask to be recognized as a female, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, but just think, like,
I'm a male, all right? I'm a dude.
If they were like confusing my kid like that in school, I would be so fucking pissed, dude.
Right?
Like hold on. Like
he doesn't have the mental what's the capacity to understand what you're talking about, right? You know, and you're trying to force this into his head.
But like, he hasn't gone through puberty yet. Don't fucking say what my kid's gender is or isn't. Like,
right? Kids are simple. It's pretty easy to not offend them.
If my boy has a penis and I treat him as a boy, like, don't go fucking confusing him, telling him, "Oh no, you could be anything." Like no, yeah. Like let him grow up first. Like, crazy. And that, right. No, because like you see that.
It's frustrating though.
There's little kids now who are trans. That's bananas, dude. Like. No kids, they haven't even hit puberty yet, and they're trans. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, dude,
you're not old enough to make these kind of decisions yet. Yeah, it's like I didn't have a clue what was going on back then. You know what I mean? Like I was just having fun being a kid. That was it. That's all
I
it should be.
I
Has
just knew
nothing to do with whether you're a boy or a girl.
girls
Like,
were hot
figure
and I
that shit out later.
wanted to hump them.
What's that?
I said I just knew girls were hot and I wanted to hump them. I
Right.
didn't know what that was about. I just
Yeah, I didn't understand those what should we call it? Those never mind. Yeah, cut that shit out. But yeah, all right. So on to the next one. Here's a funny one. Speaking of this kind of goes into what we're already talking about. There was an article titled "What Teen Girls Are Really Doing on Their Smartphones."
sexting.
I was thinking they're watching porn, but I didn't read the article. I don't know. They got to learn somehow, right? They got to figure out what they're supposed to do when they actually do it.
I think it's pretty messed up that girls watch porn now. Like
They're freaks before they even lose their virginity. Yeah.
well, I mean, like no, because it's this whole thing of trying to act like that guys and girls are the same sexually when they're not.
Mm,
They're just not.
no. Yeah. But I mean, I could see how an article like that might be interesting to somebody who's a parent of a teenage girl. It's pretty specific, though. I don't think anybody else is going to want to read that.
Well, yeah. Well, I feel
Why
like
that's news.
like directed at them. Like, hey, mom, guess what? You know.
I suppose, but I mean, what percentage of people are actually concerned with that? I mean, what teen girls are doing on their smartphones might be important to some people. It means nothing to me. I don't care.
Yeah, but that's a good one for parents. Well, I mean, the article's probably stupid as hell, but it would help.
I know. Probably would have been disappointing for parents too, but
Well, probably disappointing for them, but something they need to know. You know, as a parent, you need to know disappointing things.
They go and read the article and they're like, I already knew that she was doing that. All right, so on to the next one. Let's see. Our apartment costs $7,500 a month, and the dishwasher still doesn't work. Where the fuck are you where you're spending $7,500 a month? Like,
do they live in my town?
Move into the suburbs. You could be paying, paying for a mortgage on a house, which you will eventually own for less than that. I would think.
No, not here.
Well, okay, if you're paying $7,500 a month and the maintenance at your apartment complex isn't very good, you made a bad investment, and like you need to move out. You know what I mean? That's not anybody else's problem. That's your problem.
Yeah. Okay. So that was the op-ed article, right?
I don't know. That's just the title of the article. I just saw it and I was like, that's dumb. Some idiot's paying $7,500 a month on a place that isn't worth $7,500 a month. That's not my fault.
Well, yeah, that's called California.
Like LA, San Francisco, New York, those kind of places. You might have to deal with some shit like that. Which, I mean, those are high population areas, but, I mean, there's plenty of other places that you could be paying just as much and be getting way better maintenance.
Well, LA is actually way cheaper than my town. That's why I'm going to move back.
Yeah, so I thought that was funny, though. Yeah, I don't care that you're paying $7,500. If you're making $7,500 a month, I don't care what your problems are.
You're like, help me out.
It's like, no, you made a bad investment and you're rich. Shut the fuck up. um, all right. Here's another one. Sophia Richie reportedly dumped Scott Disick for cheating on her.
Oh God, end it already. Don't even finish that. No.
This is my least favorite type of news, the celebrity gossip. I hate celebrity gossip. I don't think that's news at all, and I don't care to hear about it. I don't care who
someone's dating. Like, what the fuck?
Even my favorite actor of all time. Like I can't say who that is because I'm not sure who that is. But like any of my top 5 actors, I don't give a shit who they're dating.
I don't even care.
As long as they keep spitting out good movies, I don't give a shit what's going on in your personal life.
I don't even care who my friends are dating, as long as it's not a fucking psycho killer and they're treating them nicely and they're happy. Yeah, cool, man. Like, you know.
Yeah, I hate the spotlight that the news puts on celebrities. You know, like I feel like that's unfair to them. You know, they're just regular people too, just trying to make money.
Oh, fuck them. Like, whatever.
Well, I mean, I know they make a lot of money. They're on TV. They're popular, whatever. But like, I don't care what your personal life is like. I just care that you're making good movies and good TV shows.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, fuck that whole thing. Like, who cares? Like, that's just such a stupid thing. By the way, do you have where you saw these, like, your sources of where you saw these articles? Where, like,
I just used Google, AOL, and Yahoo.
No, but like the link. Does it show, like, was that from, like?
Oh no, I only have one of them because the name of the company is funny. It's the next one. You want to hear? You ready for that?
All right.
All right. This is from BreakingNewsCentral.com.
Oh snap! This is gonna be some hot stuff. All right, I'm getting ready in my seat.
Victoria Beckham weighs in on Meghan Markle's royal wedding gown.
Oh my God, that's so gay.
Yeah, BreakingNewsCentral.com has an article on what Victoria Beckham thinks of Meghan Markle's wedding dress. That's breaking news. That's breaking news. We gotta know what Victoria Beckham thinks. And
about someone else's wedding gown.
Right. And I mean,
that's quite newsworthy.
Like everybody, I guess Victoria Beckham's a big name, I suppose.
Is it?
And Meghan Markle getting married to English royalty. That's cool, I suppose. But what Victoria Beckham thinks of Meghan Markle's wedding dress, that's apparently news.
What did we have the American Revolution for, anyways? Why do we still care about the royal wedding?
Does Britain even care about the royal wedding? Because I mean, they have no say over there anymore. They're like show.
It feels like we care more about the royal wedding than Brits do. Like what's up with that?
Dude, they don't even run shit over there anymore. You know. They don't have any say in what's going on in the government over there. It's just for show. They're just
well, they do. I mean, they own like everything.
Well, yeah, but they're not the ones calling the shots. Really, it's really all just for show. They have they
still call a lot of shots, man. They own like a good portion of the country.
I understand they own it and they have influence on it, but they're not the ones that get the final say in things, really, as far as I know. But
yes and no, because like not technically on some stuff, but like the fact that they like own the thing too, they're like hey, do this, you know.
Right, but that's just like how rich people here have an influence on the government here because they can
Yeah,
pay
but
the
they have a huge,
politicians that they want to pay, and then they're like, all right, now I own you. You're in my pocket.
right. But
But
are you going to say that crony capitalism doesn't have an effect here? Because I feel like it definitely does.
for sure it does. But like we're not paying attention to what these rich people are getting married in. You know, like that has no effect on us. Like when like
George Soros had a beautiful wedding.
yeah, but I don't give a shit about that. That's not news.
That's
Is my point.
George Soros is my conspiracy joke for the episode.
I see that. But my point is that's not news. It's not something that should be important to the rest of us. Like, good for them. They had a great wedding. I don't care what you wore at the wedding. You know what I mean? And I don't care what some other celebrity.
Really cynical about true love right now.
What's that?
You sound really cynical about true love.
This has nothing to do with
true love should be the only thing in the newspaper.
True love has nothing to do with marriage. All right, marriage is a contract to keep money in the family. All right, that's what marriage is about. And if you fuck that up, you lose half your money.
Say, we want Frina. We want Frina. Can we bring Kanye? Have you heard his new album? I have not.
Kanye?
Yeah.
No, I don't pay attention to that dude.
But he's a celebrity.
When Kanye does something stupid and it gets brought up in the news, and I'm like, I told you guys he was an idiot.
He's a celebrity. We should always pay attention to what celebrities do because we should look up to them and idolize them and try to be more like them.
Right, and it'll be news when Kanye West gets married to Kim Kardashian, and somebody has something to say about Kanye's suit. Right?
I don't know, man.
We'll all be like, hey, what'd The Rock think of Kanye West's suit? That's a news article. Well, I'll write an entire article about what he thought of Kanye West's suit at his wedding.
Oh, man. Yeah. Another person writing an article about what The Rock thought about Kanye's wedding.
That's what's going on here. That's what this whole Victoria Beckham on Meghan Markle's wedding dress sounds like to me. Like that's like who gives a shit?
You know what? I take it back. I thought that was a shitty article, but the absurdity of it makes it the best article you think.
I saved that one. That was the first article I wrote down, but I saved that one for later.
Oh man, what else you got there?
Let's see. You know what? I'm down to my last one. This is a good one. This is a happy article. This is something I actually liked that I saw in the news. I didn't.
I'm holding my phone with the other hand.
I didn't have to actually read the article. I just liked what it had to say, and it explained itself all in the title of the article. All right, but I was like, this is a good story. All right, this is Jermaine Gresham. You know him?
Nope.
He's a tight end for the Cardinals right now.
Okay.
Jermaine Gresham paid for a woman's carry-on bag so she doesn't miss her flight. I was like, that's good shit. We should hear more about stuff like that. People with money doing stuff to help people who can't afford to, miss their flight. It was, and I actually went back and read the article. I did go back and read the article. This lady was going to miss her flight. She was a journalist. And there was an extra carry-on fee for her carry-on baggage that she didn't know about. They just added on to her and didn't tell her about it. And when she went to go get on the plane, they're like, "Yeah, you owe us $50 still." And Jermaine Gresham just so happened to be there, and he was like, "I got you." I was like, "Hey, that's good news. That's a good story right there." Like, and I feel like if anybody did that, it doesn't have to be a celebrity, it doesn't have to be a pro football player or anything like that. Just any random person who can afford to pay the extra $50 for this
that's
to get on tour flight. That's awesome. That's the stuff I want to read about. I want to hear about people doing good stuff for people, not people acting shitty towards each other.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna add on. Just whether they're rich or not, just just folks being good Samaritan.
Yeah, if I have the extra $50 and I can afford to help this chick catch her flight, I should do that.
Yeah,
that's just good. People doing good stuff for other people. When they can.
Well, yeah, no, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, rather than a narrative of the native, obviously people suck. Everyone knows people suck.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I just have to go outside and I can see that for myself. I don't need the news to tell me about it.
If you don't think that you suck, you're not being honest with yourself.
Right.
That's what. We have to. It takes more to do good, but let's make Now I'm saying not try to ignore the negative, but let's build a narrative for Good Samaritan type shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. It's I don't know. You don't get recognition. You shouldn't be getting recognition for doing bad. You should be getting recognition for doing good. That's what people should be recognized for. And I feel like the news is kind of like a place for people to get recognized for doing bad when it should be recognized. We should be recognizing people doing good things.
Right.
I feel we need more of that.
It's in the Bible with the story where the Pharaoh was trying to have all the men or all the babies killed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the woman stood up to them, and they didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
The heroes in the story, who stood up and didn't go and kill the babies like the Pharaoh ordered. So a couple that were recognized by name,
Mm-hmm.
where then in that story, the evildoers, they didn't give their name. It was just even though they're the most powerful person in that land, they got no recognition in that story. It's just oh yeah, this freaking evil ruler dude try to have all the babies killed, and but then the woman who stood up to him, they're no, we're not gonna do that, and yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's part of the problem with the
it's building that kind of narrative.
Yeah, and that's a huge problem with the news. Is you see these mass shootings going on in America.
Mm-hmm.
Those people get glorified basically through the news, and that's an issue. Don't even give his name. Don't say nothing about him, his family, nothing. Don't recognize him for what he's doing. Show that happened, perhaps, and recognize that that's wrong. We don't do that. That's not something that normal people do. But no, we glorify him. That's
how the story should go, it should be the horrible shooter was put to a stop. He's behind bars as he should be because he's disgusting, and his name's never mentioned, right?
Yeah.
And it just mentions say the police officer who stopped him.
Mm-hmm. Recognize the good people. Don't recognize the bad.
Officer Smith put it into him, and stop the madness, and now he's locked behind bars. Only the officer who stopped.
but that never happens. They never mention any of the officers. They only mention the guy who did wrong. You know, he's the only one getting glorified, not the people who actually did right. You know, they never mention those names, or rarely mention those names.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, it's just stuff like that just irks me in the news. Like, I want, when I read the news, I'm trying to stay up to date on what's going on in the world, but I gotta sift through all this bullshit to get to the good stuff. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, I got all this negative stuff that you know, it's like I want to see what's going good in the world.
It's like by the time you wade through the negative, like you're done with it. You're like, oh, I don't even want to read the news anymore.
Right. Yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Let's bring better news, people. Make better news.
Yeah. I mean, that could be something that, you know, we add a feature on here each week. Like at the end, like we'll drop like a positive story that's going on.
We could do that.
Like,
yeah, like the most positive story that each one of us finds each week. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. Just to, you know, mix things up a bit. Like let's get some. Let's see what's good going on the road, because it's never all bad. Even when a lot is bad, it's never all bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And so like that should be shown too.
For sure.
There's always that silver lining. Don't give up hope.
Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, like I've worked customer service pretty much my whole adult life. I see a lot of people act shitty, but for the most part, I still believe that there's good in everybody.
Yeah, it just has to be.
It's like people gave up hope though, because
good behavior is like a muscle. You know, you got to keep working at it or it atrophies.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but like when you are, then you just stay swole as a motherfucker. Oh. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm happy-go-lucky. Yeah, man. Flex that good stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You get that snowball rolling in the right direction. You know, things get better and better.
Well,
or you get it going in the wrong direction. Things get worse.
Which is easy. Well, because the snowball rolling in the right direction, you know, you're pushing it up the hill, so it's tough. You know, it's always you gotta you know keep that effort on it.
Oh yeah, takes work.
Yeah, that's the only way you're gonna ever roll that snowball up the hill. But you know, snowball to roll down the hill, you know, you just let go and madness will ensue.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can easily. I suppose that's where the whole saying of being a slippery slope comes from. Because you can easily let it just roll downhill. Even if you got almost all the way to the top, it could go right back down if you let it go.
Ain't that a bitch? Almost there. Nah, fuck that shit. Oh
no! Fuck you, fuck everybody.
Yeah. I think that's a very positive note to end this one on. Fuck everybody. We're out.
I don't really feel that way. Nah. I got hope. I got hope in humanity. I believe in the race. La raza. That's the human race. The human race. I believe in the human race.
I don't believe in the human race, but I believe in the human race as long as the human race believes in something bigger than themselves.
All right. Yeah, you took a step further. Okay.
Yeah.
No, and that does make sense because
you know what I mean.
No, I do. Because like I see a lot of negatives when I go out in the world every day, but I try to stay positive. You know what I mean? Everybody else should be trying to do the same thing.
Right.
You know, treat people the way you want to be treated, and you know, be good to everybody, even if they're not being good to you. You know, like
Yes.
it's not just straight fuck that person. You know, understand that person's having a bad day or a bad week or a bad couple of years. Who knows?
Love your enemy. Love your enemy. Liberals love Trump. Black people love cops. Cops love people.
Especially if they don't have a gun.
Especially if they're pulling out their wallet.
Trying to show their ID. Yeah. Give them a chance, you know? See what they have in their hand first, you know? Benefit of the doubt. Come on, people.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Let me fuck up before you shoot me. Like, come on.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, brother. Yeah.
So I've been ruining it. I've been fucking up on the charity miles this week. My bike got stolen. I'm borrowing my friend's bike for now until I get my clutch fixed on my car. So
I'm whooping your ass this week on charity miles because not only am I doing my runs every other day, but I've also been biking to work. So like I've been
there you go.
But yeah.
That's where I was getting my miles from, was biking to and from work. I was killing it. But I'll be back on it tomorrow. I just got to fix a flat tire. I ran over a tack yesterday or a couple days ago. I Ubered to work today.
Uber. Well, yeah. Get that bike fix because it's on like Donkey Kong.
And you fuckers out there stealing bikes, steal bikes from people who deserve to get their bikes stolen. Don't be stealing bikes from people who need that bike to get to 2 different jobs, all right? Steal from people who deserve to be stolen from. Don't be fucking with me, all right? I didn't do nothing to you.
I'm just trying to live my life.
I just want to get to work and back. Let me do me, all right?
Oh man. But I mean, yeah, and like steal cars because then they can get a bike to work because they have a car.
Right.
You still sell
if anything, you're forcing them to exercise more. That's positive.
Yeah. Steal more cars and less bikes.
You know what? I'm gonna go steal a car tomorrow so that I can drive to work.
Yeah. Otherwise,
let somebody else ride their bike. Let some other, person who actually needs the exercise ride their bike to work.
And I just feel like stealing bikes is just like a half-ass form of criminality. I mean,
these are homeless people that are stealing bikes around where I work.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're gonna do something, be the best at it. If you're gonna be a thief, go hard or go home.
Well, I think that about these thieves because I work at Ross, I think that about the thieves at Ross. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, this shit's already 60% off. What are you stealing it for?
Not only that.
Why aren't you robbing Kohl's or JCPenney's or something? Like, what are you stealing from us for?
Dude, Ross gets
steal from people who actually got some, like, good shit to take.
I said that store has one of the highest, like, losses of any department store.
It's hilarious.
About that store, like, everyone steals from there.
Like, even when I was a teenager and I was I hate to call myself out on some illegal shit, but I used to shoplift when I was a teenager.
Yeah, we've all made mistakes in the past.
Oh, no, it wasn't a mistake. I did it on purpose.
I'm sure you've grown and realize that not to do that now.
Well, I figured I would only be tried as a kid anyways, so I wasn't worried about it.
Stop, Steven.
I know you're trying to defend me, and I'm not. I'm digging myself a deeper hole, but But like I never even considered stealing from Ross when I was a teenager. I was stealing from places that had stuff that I actually wanted to steal. I couldn't afford, stuff I couldn't afford, like sunglasses that were $200 a pair.
Yeah.
Still some
That's the other thing. It's like if you're stealing from Ross, you're stealing the shit that no one wants.
well, like I find that like the price tags and stuff that people stole and be like $2.99. I'm like, what are you doing? You don't have $3 on you?
But
They're really gonna break your bank to pay for a $3 item?
Well, maybe that's why they're like, hey, well, what the fuck? It's $3 anyways. So like they're thinking,
I don't feel like waiting in line. I'm just gonna cut through everybody and walk right out with this shit. The line's super long today. I don't feel like dealing with that. I'm just gonna walk out with this shit.
Dude, I bet you like that's not even like far fetched. I bet you that actually happens a lot. Like
right? Like, yeah, they're like, fuck this line.
Like, you know what? I just don't feel like waiting in line today. I'm just gonna take this.
I know a lot of people like that.
It was just that like, 10 minutes in line, nah.
I got better shit to do. I got things to do, people to see, place to go.
Yeah.
I can't deal with a 10-minute wait.
I can make this $3 that I'm stealing in 10 minutes. Like, nah, I'm just this out of it.
Time is money. Time is money.
Yeah, but I think only poor people say that time is money.
I was like, where's your money going? All right. But yeah, like,
I'm not
even better people. Let's make better news
for another time. I'm just gonna leave it on that. Only poor people think time is money.
Let's make better news, people. That's my point today. Let's make better news. Let's give them a reason to write about something good. Do good, people.
All right.
That's what I like to make today.
The more better news blues.
Sounds good. All right, man.